We got to hit our last one here. This one, the most surprising, the name that I would venture to guess 90% of our chat right now has never even heard before this morning. It's Luke Getsy, the Packers quarterbacks coach and passing game coordinator.
So Nathaniel Hackett's right hand, and Nathaniel Hackett is Matt LaFleur's right hand. And LaFleur, of course, is the one calling plays, so he's kind of 2 steps down here, which is interesting. He's also been with the Packers all but 1 year since 2014. Took a year in 2018 to go be Mississippi State's offensive coordinator, which is his play calling experience was there.
How'd it go?
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I think is really interesting. Sometimes, as the Broncos did with Vance Joseph in 2015, you have a head coaching interview, but you're thinking maybe this is a coordinator here. So Luke Getsy worked for 4 seasons under Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is now the boss of both Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore. Is this interview for Getsy as a head coach, or is it for him being a possible OC for either of those guys that are working under McCarthy right now?
Or Hackett.
Yeah,
There's 3 guys.
See, I don't think Green Bay would let both Hackett and Getsy go.
But
They wouldn't have a
wouldn't
choice.
they both be getting promotions?
Well,
They would
be getting promotions, but the Green Bay, the easiest move they could say is, Luke, we're going to promote you to OC.
But now Luke could have the choice, though, couldn't he, to leave the Broncos if he wanted to?
Leave the Packers.
Let's say he's closer with Hackett now.
And the other thing is, in general, it's frowned upon to teams don't like it when you take one and then you take a few others from that.
What are you going to do about it?
I was going to say I wouldn't care if that's the guy he wants.
That's why I actually think this is more about
Quinn
a Quinn or a Kellen Moore hire.
And here's what I'll say: I hate that if that is the case. And the reason I would hate it is because this next head coach should be able to put together his own staff. And if you're interviewing guys that aren't under Hackett, because Hackett just makes sense. For him to be Hackett's offensive coordinator, that makes a lot of sense. And obviously, Hackett, that's probably a guy he would want. So then the Broncos kind of get a head start on that. But if you're interviewing this guy and then you're saying to Dan Quinn, well, we like this guy.
Other way around.
I think it may have. I think that the connection may have already been made through McCarthy.
Oh, see, I think it's Dan Quinn who's saying.
But see, if it's
I think Dan Quinn, for example, had and he and McCarthy talked about it, and they kind of and maybe for all we know, they've already had the conversations.
They're gonna bring Getsy in, buy him a really nice steak, and say, "Hey, look, we're really interested in you. We think we're gonna go with Dan Quinn. He's also really interested in bringing you in as offensive coordinator."
Well, then what are we doing? Then I don't like this whole coaching search because we all 3 yesterday said Dan Quinn is the favorite. I think we all believe that. We'll get into that in just a second. Yeah. But now if you're already building your staff for him on the first day, I really don't like that. I don't like it at all.
I understand where you're coming from, 100%. And unfortunately, I think that's where this whole thing is heading is we're going to do a big song and dance, and then, woo, it's Dan Quinn.
But then it's like, okay, you get Dan Quinn, you get the experience, but here you also tap into someone that Aaron Rodgers likes.
Right, exactly.
And somebody who understands and again, through Matt LaFleur, is part of the McVay tree.
Yeah, I think that's the thing here is he's an outside candidate who also has some really high recommendations from other people on the list.
And that's why I hope they're interviewing him, not for other future head coaches.
But he could be this week, and that's the thing. Like most of these candidates, we're talking about an interview next week. But in the case of Getsy and Hackett, you can get these interviews done this week.